Howdy, 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 my name is Minashi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's React to Interface by Umami. So, I got a comment over the weekend from I believe it's the person who asked me to react to these in the first place, saying that I don't really need to wait for there to be more episodes because they'd be fine with me reacting to individual ones. They don't need to be super long. I just always felt like my videos need to be minimum 20 minutes, otherwise... But they have a point. I've been wanting to see what happens next to Interface anyway, but I also don't remember what happened in episode 20, so we're going to watch episode 20 again since YouTube says I watched it, and then we're going to watch episode 21. I don't think I watched episode 20. I'm not sure, but let's go.
Some fans love the taste of freezing cold
well, I liked
Pop-Tarts
it,
bites,
so I guess I did watch it.
and some just really like that clinking sound.
How dare you remind me I forgot to have a Pop-Tart before I started doing this. Get out of here. Turn it up a little bit.
Every year that passes, he became more quiet. When I look at him, he looks just as he always did. Grown older than him. He remains the same, yet under the skin, he couldn't be more different. Why are you here?
To witness a mortal sin and the consequences of blood guilt. But also, it's supper time.
Unlike him, I'm still here. You can change that. Bring him back. Or two. Until then, I will protect her.
exchange.
All that perish.
Okay, so partway through it, I remembered what was going on. It was the whole, like, finding out that his daughter was the weird giant hand thing that the weird evil blimp stole. But also the fact that the creature in the car that went off the bridge, excuse me, the child in the car, is his grandkid. And I don't know what happened to her so far. There was something about a lighthouse. They're trying to find her. Mischief was involved, as he always is. But now it's time for the new one. I could have sworn there were more episodes than this since the last time I did this, but I guess not.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, it's the
Wawa's
after
making your
ad.
Wawa run even more rewarding. You can order all your Wawa
Oh, it premiered. Is this the amusement park from that weird nightmare dream sequence thing that Mischief had? I don't know. Is that the octopus thing? Or is that something else?
It was the midst of World War II, where newly developed technology was rapidly being created, deployed, and tested. The Philadelphia experiment was not any routine test. As a fresh recruit to the U.S. Navy, Joseph Greetings was one of the first, one of the few, to witness the paradigm shift that haunts us to this day. You know him as the CEO of Greetings Robotics Corporation, who founded the company with a mandate to restore life as it was before.
Restoration is the primary goal of our benefactors. But we have many goals.
What do you say to those born after 1943? Those born into this new world who believe things are normal. Restoration to them has a different meaning.
It's hard to explain to those who have not lived it. Our mission on board that ship was to make matter invisible. But on our return, we also made visible much more. It was an inevitability. Human scientific curiosity would force us to cross that threshold eventually. But much like nuclear war, the ozone layer, global warming, its discovery also led to the understanding of how it can destroy us.
to those who are afraid of what's to come.
I tell them, if they're afraid now, it's because they were born into this nightmare. You're living in the shadow world. And who's casting the shadows? Besides, the vast majority is already on board. They welcome these changes. They have faith in us. World governments have faith in us. We know what the best interests are.
Okay, so I had my suspicions that that might have been Mischief, but I thought he said that he went to the sun or something. But at the same time, it looked like the guy who was staring at the sun, it looked like the sun was also turning into whatever this static stuff is. Which we've still not really gained. I don't know if it's explained what the static is, or if they just know that it's bad and it's supposed to be ghosts and spirits and whatnot. But they also harnessed it into this weird sinister robot thing. At first I thought maybe they harnessed that direct spirit into the weird sinister robot. But if Mischief used to be someone who was on the ship with the guy who is now running the company that's absorbing all these spirits and things, does that mean that guy actually wants to help humanity, or is he just having a knee-jerk reaction to the existence of Mischief? Because we already know that Mischief knows more than he's letting on. He definitely doesn't really want to say anything, because if he actually wanted to help, he could have done a whole lot more than he has so far. But I think it's also supposed to be implied that he went insane from the process of the spaghettification from the black hole. But I'm also not sure whether or not a black hole was actually involved, since he just sort of turned into the static stuff like everybody else on that ship, and then they started shooting at him. And then he went down from getting shot at. So maybe the black holes were the bullets? I don't know. Maybe we'll get more of a understanding of what Mischief is in future episodes of Interface. But as for this guy, Mr. Greetings, the fact that it seems like him and Mischief, by technicality, were the only people to survive whatever it was that they did to the world, and also apparently the sun, and he thinks he's trying to fix it, but this series is happening in, like, the 2010s, which means the world has been like this for almost 70 years, so there's not really anybody left alive that remembers the world not like this. So as far as they're concerned, the normal, everyday spirits and creatures like the octopus that ran the sushi shop are just getting picked off by this giant hell blimp for no reason. It's just... And I don't really know how Henry, if I'm remembering, Henrik, I'm not sure how he's factored into all this. He just seems to be a guy who can't die. Unless he can die, and it was his daughter that made him not die? It kind of sounded like he definitely died, and then she had Mischief bring him back. But there's also no real gauge of how much time passed between her turning into a giant hand, and then her getting absorbed by the weird blimp robot creature thing. Which I'm still not sure if that thing is actually evil, or if it's just doing what it would have normally been doing, but since it's trapped inside of a weird porcelain doll body made by Mr. Greetings and his nonsense, there's no telling what's going on with that either. So, mystery so far. What did his hand daughter do? What happens to things that get eaten by the weird blimp robot? What's the weird blimp robot trying to do? What is the weird blimp robot? What is Mischief? What's he trying to do? Why can't Henrik die? And does Mr. Greetings honestly not realize that he's making the world worse? Because I don't want to say that everything is his fault. It sounds like he just kind of got dragged along for the ride as far as the boat is concerned. But everything that's happened afterwards seems to be pretty staunchly Mr. Greetings' fault. But, I don't know. Over there and subscribe to Umami and click the bell so you get notified when he does things. And if you want to be notified when I do more of these videos, you can subscribe to me and click my bell as well. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to do any of that. But I do at the very least recommend subscribing to Umami, because he put a lot of work into this, and everyone who helped him with it put a lot of work into it. He's got a merch shop, put some stuff in it. I think there's a plushie of Mischief now. I'm not sure if it's going to be advertised on here. He did a whole video about it, but there's a plushie of Mischief out in the world now. But, that being said, this has been Nachi Sasuke. This was episode, I believe, 4 of Let's React to Interface. I already did my outro all out of order, so I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.